Thursday. Penny Payne, President, Mississippi Federation of Republican Women, joins us. Good morning, ma'am. How are you? It's good to have you.
Good morning. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
I got to finish this one. I asked about McEnany, who I thought she had a Mississippi State connection. She does. Her father played football at Mississippi State. Kaylee McEnany did. She went to Harvard. So just to clear that one up as we do some unfinished business. One of the reasons I wanted to get you on is because I know that you folks are doing an incredible job. You're working hard, and I think people need to know that nobody's taking this for granted. You're on the ground. I think you have like over 1,000 people in this organization as far as the Federation for Republican Women.
We have just over 1,400 in Mississippi, and
Wow.
we have 60,000 nationally.
And to give us an idea of what you're doing, and I mean this is on a weekly basis, going out there trying to cover everything and not leave anything unturned.
Right. Under the leadership of our national president, Julie Harris, the NFRW has a strike force. It's for women, not only for women in Mississippi, but all across the country, where they will have a grassroots effort to campaign for Donald Trump in the battleground states. They'll actually go to those places and have boots on the ground there. For those women that cannot leave, there's opportunities to make phone calls and get the word out that way. We are definitely not taking anything for granted. There is a definite reason for people to go to the polls in November.
Yep.
We have to get control of our borders, the economy. Anytime you buy anything, the prices are so elevated from what they were with Donald Trump. We are a red state, but we certainly can't take that for granted.
So, Penny, are you seeing that if you might need, well, let's say Wisconsin calls and says, do you have anybody out there to help us on election night? Are you actually doing that?
Yes, absolutely. We have women that are traveling to those states. If they need phone calling or any of that type of support, we certainly can provide that as well.
Is that paid for, or do they have to pay for it on their own?
This is paid for per each individual, is a volunteer basis.
So I was going to say, so it's a tremendous outlay for them and a responsibility, and kudos to these people who do that at their own expense. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Do you think that we're going to get some of that for these swing states, which everybody are kind of focusing in on? There are certain precincts in certain states, and you almost have to send somebody there who's bilingual because you know there's going to be some problems.
Right, absolutely. I know that our national federation is on top of all of that. We do have bilingual people in the federation that are volunteers, boots on the ground. We are ready for this election.
It is amazing. I played this a few moments ago that Joe Rogan on his show was talking about what makes you think that this election is going to be on the up and up. And I can't even believe he said that on his show. He's turned
Right.
Over the last couple of years. But if they're willing to cheat on just about everything else, why wouldn't they cheat on here? The problem is being able to stop them through legal means. And sometimes it's very, very difficult to do.
It absolutely is. We've been working on election integrity for years just in the state of Mississippi, and we're a red state. We have to make sure we have poll watchers, people that are going to take these elections seriously, and people that are honest, and that's not always an easy task.
Penny, how do you address this when you start talking about Donald Trump? Because I don't know of any other individual who's gotten probably creamed from his image, and a lot of it is his own fault because he's flashy, and et cetera, et cetera. But and I'll tell you how bad it is as far as disinformation. When I say this, some people will just kind of, not cringe, but some people will be a little uncomfortable when seeing this. This guy's probably one of the most compassionate people that you could possibly meet. His history shows that. That's not how he's portrayed. He is probably one of the most respectful to women in his organization over the years. You don't have a plethora of lawsuits against him from sexual harassment, et cetera, et cetera. You have this one locker room comment on a bus of Billy Bush and a tape. That's it. Of all the other things that happens from Bill Clinton, from anybody else, you have this one single solitary comment, and also the court case of Stormy Daniels, one way or the other, and not even sure that that's accurate. But then you have a guy who's painted as just a gigolo, who has an incredible family, who has, even through his divorce, left amiable and good speaking terms, who's raised some great kids, who've done a great job, who is, Paul, please don't go on, but one more thing, who is in the center of possibly one of the worst businesses and the toughest businesses in the world. That's real estate in New York City. Labor unions, mafia, everybody, politicians, everybody trying to get you to do this and that. And he's operated in that venue without any indictments, without any tarnish at all. And it's absolutely amazing. And here, at the end of the day, we have people like Rachel Maddow saying that he's going to put people in internment camps and things such as that. But do you think the Mississippi women that you deal with on a daily basis can see through this?
Absolutely. You know, Donald Trump has proven himself. He has so much stamina. People always say, oh, they're both so old. And, you know, he has taken cognitive tests that he has passed when he was in office, and even after he's been out of office, he's taken these tests. He stays in trial all day and then goes to rallies where he's on his feet and speaking for hours at a time. Thousands of people there watching him with enthusiasm, and he has as much enthusiasm and vigor at the beginning of his rally as he does at the end of his rally. There's definitely a double standard going on, and I think the people are tired of it, and they're ready for a change. They're not going to buy all these Biden lies anymore. This economy has just crushed people. Working people are struggling. We've got to get out there and get that Republican back in the White House. Donald Trump can straighten this country out, and he can close these borders, and that's exactly what we need.
Yeah. What scares a lot of people, too, is if it's gone down thus far and this fast in 3.5 years, can you imagine what another 4.5 is going to look like with the rest of this year and 4 more from Joe Biden? And that's a scary thought.
It is a very scary thought. And, you know, people are struggling now. Can you imagine with 4 more years of this, it would be just devastating to people.
And at the same time, Penny, I mean, he looks at you and he says, you're better off now than you've ever been. I've done a great job. I don't even know why you people are biatching out there. Where crime is down to the lowest it's ever been. Historic, it's down. And he tells us this thing, and I guess he thinks we're all believing this stuff, but it's nonstop. What do you need out there from your organization?
We are just looking for volunteers. If you're interested in joining our organization, if you we have a Mississippi Federation of Republican Women website where you can find your local club, or you can join as an at-large member. Anyone that's interested in getting out the vote or working for getting that Republican back in office, we're certainly welcome anyone that is interested. There is a group of people here on the coast, the 4 Trumpers. We've got the Bikers for Trump, the Boaters for Trump, Jeepers for Trump, Bikers for Trump, all those different organizations. They're planning a rally on the coast, are expecting over 1,000 people. Just come out and show your support. We're in the very early planning phases, so we don't have a date, but people are very angry about this convictions, and they're not going to sit down and take it lightly. It's motivated the people. It's done nothing for the Democratic Party, but it has certainly lit a fire under Republicans.
I see that new energy on a national basis with the new appointments there. And I also see it in the state of Mississippi, and I think Mike Hurst is going to do a great job. I really do. And can you speak to that when we come back for just a second?
Sure.
Back with more. Penny Payne, just a second or two. Jason McDonald joins us. Jordan Kane, both of those fine gentlemen, had a major, and I should say have a major investment in medical marijuana. Not happy with what happened with the testing plan. We'll go into that coming up at 8:05. Let's take a quick break. Back in a moment with more. In a moment, Payne, President, Mississippi Federation for Republican Women. A force to be dealt with. Well, we say 1,400 in the state, 60,000 nationwide. Mike Hurst was on with me last week, and we were talking about some of the objectives and things that he wanted to do. One of the things is to reach out to the African-American, the black conservatives in the state and say, look, your views are very, very conservative, and they match the Republicans and the party of Lincoln. And
right.
Come on in. Let's talk about this. Is that a movement you see across the nation?
You know, we have got to do better at outreach and to explaining the policies and what Republicans are to people, because people don't really realize when you lay it all out for them, they're like, well, I'm a Republican too. And we find that often in the black communities.
Yep.
They're very conservative, they're church-going people, honest people, and when you look at the platform of the party, they fit into that mold. So it's definitely something we need out there. And Mike is going to be an excellent leader. He's been a supporter of Republican women for a very long time. We're going to work hand in hand with him. He has great enthusiasm and professionalism. And, you know, we certainly thank Frank Bordeaux for all of his efforts and all the time that he spent working for the party. You know, not to mention Celeste Hurst, his wife, is also a Republican woman, and so is his mother, Lucy. So he has Republican women all around him.
Those are forces to be dealt with. I wanted to play
Yes.
this one cut here because it kind of fits in with what we're talking about, and it's gone viral. And let me hang on. I got to turn it up here. Some weird way this thing is messing up on me. Here we go. Let's do it again on what we were talking about.
I feel that the Democratic Party should pay reparations to blacks because it was in the 1800s when the Republicans, which was known as abolitionists, separated from the Dixiecrats because they did not want to continue slavery. So after the abolitionists helped black people become Republicans and they changed their name, black people were able to own businesses. They was able to create the Black Wall Street, Rosewood. They were the most wealthiest communities in the United States. And so it was the Democratic Party who created the Ku Klux Klan, and the Klan were the ones who hated the blacks for creating Black Wall Street, and that's why they dropped the bomb on Black Wall Street. It was the Klan that did that. 2 years later, in 1923, it was the Klan that destroyed Rosewood. So if anybody owes black people money and reparation, it should be the Democratic Party, the Ku Klux Klan, which they originated from. That Democrats should be paying the money to blacks for all that they've done with slavery, the destruction of the black economic engines. I feel the Democratic Party should pay reparations to black people.
You know, people hear that. They hear that for the first time, and it's completely been revised out of school, and it's not taught anymore. The incredible progress African Americans were making prior to LBJ and the Great Society.
Absolutely. It's very easy to blame things on Republicans because we're the party that doesn't fight back. But I think with Donald Trump in the White House, we have that strong leadership, and he's not afraid to fight back, and he's not afraid to speak his mind. And we have to start taking his lead and just speaking up and speaking out for the Republican Party.
One more cut here, because every time he makes another appearance at one of those, by the way, the last one, you're absolutely right, was in the middle of the desert. It was hot out there, and this guy never slowed up at all. Probably at his age, 77, 78, is where he's never smoked, never drinks, never taken drugs. So other than some good fried chicken and McDonald's, he's in pretty good shape there.
So this is the first time I've said this, and for those hotel workers and people that get tips, you're going to be very happy, because when I get to office, we are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips. We're not going to do it. And we're going to do that right away, first thing in office, because it's been a point of contention for years and years and years. And you do a great job of service. You take care of people. And I think it's going to be something that really is deserved. More importantly, popular or unpopular. I do some unpopular things, too, if it's right for the country. I do what's right. But so those people that have jobs in restaurants, whatever the job may be, a tipping job, we're not going after for taxes anymore. This will be ended.
Something that's going to resonate with men and women, but you do have a lot of ladies in the service industry. Penny, as always, glad to have you on the ground and working. And if they want more information, what's the website quickly?
Mississippi Federation of Republican Women.org.
That easy. Penny, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it very much.
Thank
Penny
you so
Payne,
much.
Who is the president of Mississippi Federation.